what I did at this corner is I put a blue bike with yellow flowers all over it.
Oh,
Right
no
there
way.
just before the corner, and she remembered.
Where?
Knew she had to turn left.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then on the corner of that house, there was her neighbor, and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna keep an eye on Michelle. You can put a bike here too." So this corner had a
Oh,
purple bike.
so the bikes are like a map for her. Hoi, super leuk dat je weer kijkt naar een gloednieuwe vlog. Mijn naam is Florien en vandaag loop ik een dagje mee met de Flower Biker Man. En voor de mensen die, nou ja, Instagram hebben, voor ook zeker uit Amsterdam komen, maar ook Instagram hebben, kunnen hem kennen van de prachtige mooie fietsen in Amsterdam. Die helemaal versierd zijn met bloemen, print, stof, fabric. En daarmee rijdt hij door Amsterdam met zijn eigen fietsen. En hij versiert fietsen, denk ik, van een ander. Ik weet het allemaal niet. Ik heb 1000 vragen, dus vandaar dat ik een dagje met hem meeloop. Of althans een paar uurtjes. We meeten straks in Amsterdam en dan gaat hij me alles vertellen over wie hij is, wat hij doet, hoe hij het doet, waar hij de spullen vandaan haalt. Of je hem dan kan inhuren om je fiets te laten versieren, of hoe dat dan gaat, of hoe hij ook is begonnen. Ik heb 1000 vragen. Het is wel allemaal in het Engels, want hij is Engels, of althans Amerikaans, I don't know. Ik ga alles zo goed mogelijk proberen te ondertitelen, maar het is zoveel werk dat ik gewoon eigenlijk een beetje spijt heb dat ik dit ga doen, als in de zin van, het is gewoon heel veel werk om het te ondertitelen. Maar ik ga mijn best doen. Dus ik ga zo richting Amsterdam en dan meeten we daar. En dan, dit wordt echt heel cool. Want ik volg hem al een aantal jaar. En het leek me gewoon altijd al zo tof toen ik met het YouTube kanaal begon om een dagje met hem mee te draaien. Of gewoon hem te ontmoeten en te zien. En ik hoop dat we ook even op de bakfiets door Amsterdam gaan om zijn werk te zien en de fietsen. Dus het wordt wel een korte vlog, denk ik. Want ik zie hem gewoon maar heel kort. En het is niet echt bepaald een gast waar je dus, hoe zeg je dat? Waar je bijvoorbeeld een hele dag mee spendeert. Maar desondanks wordt het een hele coole vlog. Als je nou zin hebt, doe dan vast een blauw duimpje omhoog. Vergeet je zeker niet te abonneren op mijn kanaal. En dan zien jullie als ik bij Warren aan ben gekomen. So guys, I'm here with Warren, the Flower Biker Man, right?
Flower Bike Man.
Yeah, and this is your home bike. It's right there.
Yeah, this is one, but he's like ready to go. Look.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I'm gonna sit. Okay, so just explain us, who are you?
Like that, Mark?
That's so cool. But tell the people like a basic, who are you?
Oh, I'm the guy that puts all these flower bikes all over Amsterdam.
So when did you start it with everything?
The first
How did it started?
The first flower bike was 20 years ago because Michelle lost her bike. You know, she had a job interview and she had to go and take it, but she had got epilepsy. And this all is a known thing that happened to her.
Yeah.
And what will happen was she parked her bike at Central Station to go to this interview
and it got stolen?
No, she couldn't find it.
Oh.
For epilepsy, you see 1,000 black bikes all in a row.
Yeah.
She just got confused and couldn't find it. So she came home crying, somebody stole it. But you have the keys. I go and get her. The second time, somebody stole it. Okay. I already know she's got a problem, so I made her bike. So
that was recognizable.
It was a blue bike actually, and I thought, well, how can you not find a blue bike amongst all the black bikes?
Yeah.
Okay, we put sunflowers all over it. All over.
So this was the original bike?
No. It was a blue bike with sunflowers. Just a regular bike.
Do you guys still have the original one? Okay.
That was 20 years ago here.
Well, maybe you still have it in the house or something.
No. I think that bike actually got stolen.
That one, the blue one.
Actually got stolen
no
a long
shit.
time ago. And then we, the point is her epilepsy continued to get worse.
Yeah.
And the bike thing was one thing, but she couldn't do this job. She can't focus on a computer. She can't do these type of things. So
Okay.
we stayed here a couple more years, hoping she would get better, and the job was like it was TomTom, GPS coordinator.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we can hold off, we can hold off till 3 months and she can come in. Eventually, we went back to Florida.
Yeah, that's where you originally came from, right?
Yeah, and I thought it was a good idea to go back to her
Yeah.
hometown, to where her parents are, to where we met. You know, when she came out of the first time having a big seizure, and she couldn't take a job, she couldn't even remember me. She didn't even trust me. She didn't even trust me when I took her home 10 days later.
Yeah.
She had died twice. So she had to trust me kind of when I,
Yeah.
you know? So we had to build our whole relationship up again, almost. Later, things came out. But what happened was, going back to Florida, she was lost everywhere.
Yeah.
This one turn kept having a problem with her. She kept turning right, and it goes to the beaches.
Yeah.
And she needed to turn left to the shops, to her new job, and,
Yeah, yeah.
the doctor. And yeah, she would turn right and get lost, and then have a seizure. The ambulance comes, people,
Oh,
find her
so
on
it was
the
just
street.
a-
She's
yeah.
passed out somewhere. They call the ambulance. She ends up in the hospital. Then she wakes up again. No, I have a job. Why aren't we in Amsterdam?
Oh, that's so sad, man.
So this corner, though, it took a long time to figure out what it actually was. It was a lot of therapy until we found out.
Yeah.
But what I did at this corner is I put a blue bike with yellow flowers all over it.
Oh,
Right
no
there,
way.
just before the corner, and she remembered.
Where?
Knew she had to turn left.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then on the corner of that house, there was her neighbor, and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna keep an eye on Michelle. You can put a bike here too." So this corner had a
Oh,
purple
so
bike,
the bikes are like a map for her.
and then all the way up the street, and then another neighbor said, "For me, well, have one for me."
Oh
In
my.
the city of Tarpon Springs, I made my first bike for a company, a sponge bike,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then I just put them all over the city. It was just for her to help her with
Just with the. Oh my god.
areas.
Just like the just like crumbs, but
Yeah,
then
Hansel and Gretel.
instead of. Oh my god, that's so cool.
So when she's driving along, and this memory is coming in her head, and she didn't know how.
Yeah.
So her child is saying, "Turn right," and the oldest.
Oh.
So she turns right, but then gets lost.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad memory, is the point. It was a good memory that was coming up and just causing her confusion.
Yeah, yeah,
So putting
yeah.
the bike there stopped all that.
So the bike helped the problem.
Yeah, and then just more bikes around the city. But after a while, her mother and we talked. I promised her I wouldn't take her away from her, but her mother said, this can't go on. Every time this happens to her, she's depressed.
Yeah,
She lost her whole career, her whole life. She was the breadwinner.
yeah.
I have a broken back. She was taking care of me. So,
Okay.
So she said, you're an artist now. You're in papers and people here everyone turns
For
you on."
sure, you're an artist.
Right? This was long ago, 5 years ago, and she said, maybe you should go back to Amsterdam.
Go back to Amsterdam.
Maybe they will appreciate your art there. Maybe you can get something going with it there.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, we packed up,
And when
and I
you
brought 13 bikes with me, color bikes.
you make them for people or just you buy bikes?
I don't buy bikes.
You don't buy them.
No, unless it's like
So you
an old
just
bike
create
broken
them?
down. All of my bikes mostly they have a good story.
Yeah.
The ones I brought were all bikes I found in the trash or somebody threw away. A
And so
couple
you
of
make
are
them and then leave them.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no
make
way.
sure they ride again. Bring them back to life.
That's so fucking
Bring
cool.
them back even better than life.
Do you have like a story about this one, the orange one?
Yeah, it's a guy he's a guy that has velomobiles, the closed bicycles,
Yeah.
fancy bikes, He has a lot of bikes.
Yeah.
But he lives in Rotterdam, and he follows my Instagram. And he said, "Hey, I have a Bachfiets, maybe you can use it. But it's got a broken back wheel, I'll bring it to you if you want."
Yeah.
So he brought it to me. And then I got a new wheel for the back, and then cut the box off to make it more aerodynamic. And this one I made so I can carry it.
That's so cool.
I carry this big box, I can carry it. And one
Yeah.
time I did take her to the doctor when she was not feeling good. She had to have her appointment, and I carried her all the way from our house to the west to the hospital to see her doctor. And that's why I made this one.
Yeah. Oh, to carry her.
This is to carry her. And it's not electric, so.
And where do you get the fabric, the paint, all the?
Oh, everywhere. The paint always at the Montana paint shop, The,
Okay. And
That's
accessories?
the gravity paint, the graffiti paint.
Yeah,
Only
okay.
One graffiti store in Amsterdam, Hanks. Here, Hanks. Hanks Amsterdam.
Thank you. Shout out to them.
If you're a graffiti artist anywhere in Amsterdam or near, you're going to Hanks to buy your paint. That's the place to go.
Cool, man. And the flowers, the stuff, the accessories, where did you
Yeah, they
get them?
everywhere. Usually I try to buy local.
Just local? Do you buy them?
Yeah, there's a few places here that sell flowers, little shops, and like the little things, the slingers. I get those all local from these shops. I could get them cheaper online, but I buy
Yeah,
them
yeah, okay.
up here, and I pay a little bit extra, but I buy it
Yeah.
all from there.
And do you get a lot of requests from people that say, make my bike like this?
Yeah, there's cheese bike over here.
Yeah?
There's,
Oh, no way.
and they've had them a couple of years, so I had to actually refresh them this
Yeah.
summer because they got old. So I took them away and painted them again and got them up back to niceness.
And this
But
is what you...
originally they'll never look like, like the first flagship bike. Oh man, sunflowers as big as the wheels on there.
Yeah.
And they got all ruined by people because they leave it outside, or people climb on it, and see the flowers and all kinds of stuff.
So what do you do on a daily basis? Just these bikes, giving tours, living life?
I don't really do too many tours. I do it for this one company. And,
Yeah.
I check on my bikes a lot, and gotta go home and cook for Michelle every day.
Aw.
So
How is she right now? Doing fine?
she's down right now, so
Yeah.
she's had a few seizures, so she's recovering right now. And it takes time.
Yeah.
So when this happens, she doesn't come outside.
Well,
On
it's...
those days, I'm usually smoking and drinking. I'm not happy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She's outside, and
Then you're happy,
I
yeah.
don't drink at all. I
Aw.
go around with her and we do things. We're technically homeless and illegal.
Oh, no way. You're illegal in Amsterdam.
Yes.
Oh, no,
I
shit.
haven't been there. I came on a tourist visa.
We don't want to record that, man.
Why? They know it.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
That is something people don't know. They think that I make money from these bikes and the city pays me and I'm some kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
they hear stories.
But in real life,
he
it's
lives in a
different.
houseboat. No, I don't live in a houseboat. I live in a little motorboat.
Oh. And where do you make the bikes? Is it? Do you have like a location for that?
Yeah, NDSM.
Oh, you make them right there and
On
then.
the public ground. It's,
Oh,
I
no,
spray
man.
everything, and, it's the only place in Amsterdam left where freedom is really kind of there.
NDSM, yeah, the
You can
NDSM
spray
work.
paint, you can,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no one's going to call
I'm
the
gonna
police
visit you there one time.
on you. Yeah, I got the
Then I will see the guy in action.
You can't miss it. The whole ground in my area is
Are you there?
says flower bike man, and then
Yeah?
paint everywhere, butterflies.
Are you there every day?
Only if I'm like I have a project.
Oké. Oh my god, dit ziet er zo cool uit. Kijk dan. Mega vestig. Hij zet er ook gewoon tering hard aan. Oh my god, deze mensen schrokken fucking erg ervan. Dit is zo sick. Oh my god, dit is zo grappig. Ik zit hier met Warren en er zitten hier twee mensen. En die zeiden van ja, we begonnen een soort van uit te leggen over de Flower Biker Man en de fietsen. En toen zei hij, well that's me. And they were like, oh my god, no way. That's so funny. En dat legt hij dus ook uit dat hij dat dus echt super grappig vindt. Dat mensen geen idee hebben dat hij het is. En dat als hij het dan vertelt dat mensen zeggen, oh my god, yeah. That's so cute.
Oh yeah, perfect. Sunflowers and orange, yes.
Actually, I've seen you many times, but I just you like the bikes.
En nu is hij dus het verhaal aan het uitleggen aan die mensen. Wat is het echt verhaal? Dus wat hij zei dus van ja, het is gewoon best wel een lang verhaal. En niet iedereen weet het hele verhaal. En toen zei zij dus van, oké, leg dan uit. Dus dat is dus jullie aan het doen. Zo fucking cute. Nou jongens, ik ben teruggekomen van wederom een hele leuke dag. Of eigenlijk een paar uur, want het was niet echt een hele dag. Holy shit, ik heb gewoon een Flower Bike Man ontmoet. Oh mijn god, zo fucking vet. I mean, deze man volg ik al zo lang. En hij is echt een begrip in de stad. Bijna iedereen kent hem als Amsterdammer.
overal staan zijn fietsen. En dat ik die man heb mogen ontmoeten. Het verhaal erachter heb mogen horen. Met hem heb gechilled. En ja, ik weet niet. Het was echt heel vet. Het was misschien wel een iets andere vlog dan jullie normaal zouden verwachten. Maar ja, dat mag de pret uiteraard niet drukken. I want to thank Warren, first of all. Thank you so much that I could follow you along. And ask all the questions I had. You were amazing, and we will see each other in future for a part 2 when you will decorate the bikes, because I want to see that. Dat was echt heel erg gaaf. En ja, het was gewoon, voor mij was het ook even anders, want normaal volg ik echt iemand een hele dag of een halve dag. En deze keer was het echt een soort van, eigenlijk een soort meet-up. Maar toch heb ik gewoon de story erachter laten zien. En ik denk dat het goed was om het zo te doen. Ik vond het tof. En ja, soms, het hoeft niet altijd hetzelfde te zijn. Maar ja, desondanks hoop ik wel dat jullie ervan hebben genoten uiteraard. En dat jullie niet dachten van, oh nou, hè. Ja, soms loopt het gewoon even wat anders. En niet elke gast hetzelfde. En soms moet ik me gewoon ook even aanpassen aan de situatie die er op dat moment is. En dat is helemaal niet erg, maar dan wordt het gewoon soms net even iets anders dan normaal. Als je nou vragen hebt voor deze gast, laat het vooral even weten in de comments of via een DM op Instagram. Als je nou een leuke vlog vond, doe dan een blauw duimpje omhoog. Vergeet je zeker niet te abonneren op mijn kanaal. Vergeet me niet te volgen op Instagram en op TikTok om op de hoogte blijven van alles. En als je nou een idee hebt wat ik de volgende keer moet meelopen, laat het vooral even weten in de comments of via een DM op Instagram. En dan zie ik jullie volgende keer met een gloednieuwe vloggie.